So if you've been in SEO for any amount of time, you'll know about guest posting, which has been in the past 10 years, maybe 15 years, the bread and butter of link building. It's the way that pretty much every man and his dog who comes online will build links at some point. Before then, it was link exchanges, resource pages, going around and asking people to put links in articles. It was less about guest posting. Guest posting occurred as a natural way of marketing, so people would piggyback off the popularity of someone else's blog, and in exchange the blog owner would get this good piece of content. The person who did the guest post would get this exposure, and they would get traffic. Now SEOs come along, as we often do, and exploit things and make things about links. So what's happened is SEOs have realised, we can exchange a piece of content for a link. We can go to these blogs and we can say, look, can we post some nice content on your website? All you got to do is link back. Blog owners then wised up to this, and then they started saying, well, we want money for this, and then it become commoditized, and we get large scale operations happening where people are abusing this tactic. And Google had to look at it at some point, and I think it was 2013 or 2014, Matt Cutts decided to say guest posting is dead. Of course it was far from dead. Again, it's just propaganda that Google spits out. But what Matt Cutts was really trying to say was stop guest posting, because, if we see that a lot of your links are coming from guest posts, or an unnatural amount of links are coming from author bios and posts labelled as guest posts, we're going to discredit them. Or back in the day, they used to penalise. So with guest posting, what happens is it comes from the brand. So a guest post will be posted on the website, and it'll come from an author or a spokesperson at the brand, and it's often a solicited post, so it's not necessarily paid for unless it says paid or sponsored. Paid and sponsored is obviously a no-go, but people still do that as well. But if you see a guest post, you would assume that there's something in it for the person that's doing the guest post. So why would Google make that a vote of popularity? Often the links are in the author bio. These days maybe less so, and they can be in content and stuff like that. But back in the day, the link would be in the author bio. They're often labelled as guest posts or tagged as contributed. And the whole angle of guest posts in the traditional sense is like, buy our stuff, or look at what we do, or look at our services. And it's kind of like the wrong way to go. It's like the wrong approach. The way we look at guest posts, or we call it blogger outreach, is we also call it ghost posting rather than guest posting. So what we do is we try to write a piece of content that has come directly from the blog owner. So when we pitch content, we're pitching things that they actually want to write about. They actually want to talk about stuff that they could rank for. We pitch it like this because blog owners are kind of, what's in it for me? And this is where the whole money thing has come from, which, is a different topic. But if the more you kind of make it about them and they can rank for this topic, it's something they would write about. You write in their tone of voice, which isn't hard to do, you just make it really easy for them to accept this guest post or ghost post. And then within this ghost post, you include natural links that help the article. So you don't just include your own link back to the client, you include other links that are helpful. The way that you include the link to the client shouldn't be promotional. It shouldn't be, this is the best service ever. It should help the article. Linking to other blog posts from your client is easier than linking to service pages, of course. But you want to make it so that the content wouldn't make sense to exist if the link wasn't there. So you want to make the sentence surrounding the link say something like, John Smith from company X said that this was a really interesting piece of information because the content around the link is almost hard to take the link out at that point. I would try and train your writers to do it like that, or if you're writing it yourself, write it like that. It scales safely. So with ghost posting, you're not doing guest posts. You're not overly doing one type of link building. You're naturally acquiring links from the internet. That's how you naturally get links. I would think about it that way, that it's a scalable way of link building. And it's how links naturally occur, as we just said. Non-promotional content works better, so write for the blog owner, don't write for your client. Your client should come second in this pecking order. The blog owner comes first. So, and the reason being is because if you don't get the blog owner to accept the content, there's no happy client. So the client needs to have a mindset shift of this content needs to be about this, or this content needs to be written in this way, or this content needs to be so grammatically correct that, it's like it's written by Shakespeare or something. They shouldn't have a say in this. It should be, look, we're making links happen. That the head of SEO at Apple doesn't scour the internet looking for mentions of Apple, then say, hey, I don't like the style of your writing in the way that you link to me. It isn't, there isn't big ROI in it, and it doesn't matter because the content isn't about Apple. They just mention Apple. Same as these ghost posts, they mention the client, they're not about the client. And so that makes them unsolicited. So to give you a couple of examples of what not to do, these are just random articles I've found, but here's one on Scientific American talking about science on a fashion blog. We see here, this is a guest post by Anika Victoria, and a link is right at the top here in this little byline. Are Google counting this? Probably. But if Anika Victoria did hundreds of these, or it was their only way of getting links, and their anchor text was this over and over again, do you think it would trip some kind of algorithm of discrediting or devaluing these links? I think so, and I like to live in a world where that could happen, so I just don't do it. Like, it doesn't seem like a good idea to do that with client work or sites that I really care about. So I just live in this world where if something could happen, or if the algorithm got really, really, really clever, could it one day just discredit these byline links, therefore making this kind of activity a waste of time and a waste of money. And then here's another one just picked up random. This one, the guest post label is actually in the title. So a guest post by Jeremy Robbins. Again, will this count? Will the links back to this guy's site count? Maybe. But if he does it over and over and over again, I wouldn't have thought so. Although there will be a chance of it being a waste of time. And then let's look at this one. Again, this one is in the title again. So it's the same difference. Same difference. And now what to do? Okay, so we've got this website again, picked at random, Car Witter, 8 classic car brands that aren't actually British. And then we go through, it just looks like a normal blog post, but we've got some links going out to useful pages that are related, contextual. They're not in any byline, they're not in any author box. And who's the article by? It's by the owner of the website, the editor of the website. Does this article carry a lot of weight because it's the editor, the owner? I would say so. More so than a guest post. And then this one, what to do, see and eat in New Orleans. Normal post, links going out, and, one of these will be hypothetically a link to a client, and the other links will be just useful links as well. Just natural. I mean, you write a natural blog post, you're going to link out about maybe 4, 5, 6, 10 times. So that's how the internet works. That's how the internet has always worked. That's why Google chooses links as their way of organising or ranking the web, or at least one of the most important ways. So think about it like Google doesn't exist, and think about it like, I want to write a blog post for this blogger. I want to make it really useful and include my client. And that's it. You want to make the blog post around a keyword, so the blogger, knows the value of ranking for that keyword and is more likely to accept it. But there we go. There's a difference between ghost posting and guest posting. Stop guest posting. And that isn't to say stop all guest posting. Some 2, 3, 4 times a year is fine. I'm saying using it as a way of building links for SEO purposes, it isn't wise. I think using it for exposure on blogs with high traffic, even if they put a no follow on it, fine. Put a promotional tag on it or whatever, fine. But for the purpose of guest posting to acquire your natural links, I mean, try and acquire natural links to begin with, but if you're going to do some surgical link building, I would go with ghost posting. And that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it.